Hi, this is Jason from Horrific Nightmares, and it's time for a positive spin. Today we're going to be talking about Beyond Darkness, aka La Casa 5. Now, this gets a 4.2 on IMDb, which I feel is incredibly low for what type of film this is. And I feel like a lot of people think this movie is a joke. Even when it was released through Vinegar Syndrome, people were like, it's cheesy, so on and so forth. It's an Italian haunted house film and slash exorcist film. So is it cheesy? Sure. It feels like an 80s film, even though it came out in 1990. Of course, the film was filmed in the late 80s. Now, my history with this film. I originally saw La Casa 3 and La Casa 4, which is Ghost House and Witchery. So, obviously, I wanted to see Beyond Darkness, which is La Casa 5. And crazy enough, I thought it ended there. I thought that was the last La Casa film. Joe and I are going to be talking about this franchise this month, so definitely stay tuned. We're going to have some fun with this one. So I watched Beyond Darkness when I eventually picked it up. Some people may remember this was Ghost House, Witchery, Beyond Darkness, Metamorphosis were a few of my very first reviews on YouTube when I started my channel. That was a long time ago too. So I actually hadn't watched Beyond Darkness since then. So I was really eager to check these films out with Joe because we were gearing up to talk about the La Casa franchise. And I had an absolute blast with this film. So let's put a positive spin on Beyond Darkness. First and foremost, a huge positive is the location for me. I love the fact that they use the house from the Beyond. Lucio Fulci's The Beyond. That house is gorgeous. It's beautiful. I think my wife even commented how much she liked the house, that it was really cool looking. By the way, Ghost House also uses the house from House by the Cemetery. So I like how it's all kind of interconnected. Maybe not story-wise, but at least location-wise. So that's your first positive right there. They have a pond in the back. It's just a beautiful place. So when we're exploring the house with the family that moves in, you see all these really neat things. One of them being the wall that happens to be the gate to hell. And it's just a wall. If you really look closely, it's made out of plywood, which I thought was funny. I really had to look closely, though, to see it was actually made out of, like, what do you call that? Pressure board is what they call it, I'm pretty sure. So I thought that was kind of cool with a little hole, like a little eye slit carved into it. So I thought that was really cool. And another positive is later on in the film when the wall gets broken down. It's almost like it melts. And I thought that was a neat effect to use. So the effects in this movie I think are great. But that's just one example. Another example, of course, is the witch. That is the big part of this film. Because in the beginning, a witch is going to the electric chair and she's getting fried for eating the souls of children. And the makeup that they use in the beginning, even though you can see some, I mean, this was meant to be on VHS where you can't really see everything like you can on a Blu ray. But all in all, the makeup is really good. Now, when you get towards the end, another huge positive is the makeup that they use on the witch. This is one of the coolest looking witches I've ever seen put to film, in my opinion. Now, I like the family that moves into the house. Are they the greatest actors? No, it's an 80s cheese fest, or early 90s cheese fest, if you want to call it that. And I kept saying to myself, I was like, the little boy Martin, he looks so familiar. Where the hell have I seen this kid before? And then Joe, of course, pointed out that it was Troll 2. That was the little boy from Troll 2. And I thought to myself, well, that makes sense because Claudio Fragazzo actually directed this and he directed Troll 2 as well. So it makes sense that the little boy was in both films. I like the family. I like their expressions. It's a huge positive for me. I like the story. And to be honest with you, when this does get into the exorcism sort of territory, I think a huge positive is how it's handled. This movie has better writing and better set design than a lot of the movies that are so popular. That's just my opinion, but I find that to be a huge positive. All in all, I like this movie a lot. Um, it was a big surprise. I don't remember liking it as much the first time, although I probably did. It's just been 6 or 7 years since I've seen it, and things start to fade into the background. So this is a really really fun Italian movie, and another huge positive, of course, before I end this video is the fact of it being an Italian movie and them using everything in the kitchen sink. I mean, they just go for it in this film. This film gets batshit crazy towards the end. And that's one of the reasons why I love Italian cinema so much. They don't hold back, they throw everything at you, even stuff that doesn't make sense. It's just fun. And I had a great time with this film. So check this one out, Beyond Darkness, or don't. But don't forget to check out Joe's positive spin for Beyond Darkness. Remember, guys, physical media matters. And until next time, peace.